let's say that your project as a whole is like the Star Wars saga. Your clients, they're Luke Skywalker. So in this saga, we're actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. We are the guide for the hero. We come in and help that hero achieve what they want. The story is not the client hires you and the objective is to finish the project the right way and then you get to the end and it's wonderful. No, that's not the point. The whole point of the story is trying to help your client get to where they want to go. Welcome to the Show Your Work webinar. My goal with this webinar is to try and give you some insights that I've learned over the years on how to create case studies that actually work for you. In the beginning, it really starts with this question. Can you send me your work? Send me a link to your portfolio. Show me what you got. I'd love to see some of the work you've done. Early on in my career, I was looking at a freelance opportunity, and the guy was like, yeah, shoot me your portfolio. And inside, I just felt like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like, I'll send you what I have. And I think I sent him a PDF with logos with no explanations. And it was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. So let's get into the content. Part 1, definitions. What is a case study? So case studies, this is a detailed examination of the creative process and the results of a specific project. The thing that makes case studies different is it shows a causal relationship between effort and impact. And it's a story. It gives you a story of the client and of the project. All right, so where do case studies live? Your website. That's the main place that we want case studies to live. We also want them in your capabilities deck. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what a capabilities deck is, this is crucial. If you've ever been in dialogue with a potential client and they've asked, hey, can you send me a proposal for some work? And you haven't even talked about the work yet, right? You haven't even discussed what they need or a budget or anything like that. And you can kind of tell they're just fishing for information. A capabilities deck is a great document that will allow you to send them something that's meaningful, but it's not a full-blown proposal. It's basically just a document with a couple of case studies and an outline of the services that you offer. Why do people read case studies? I think that number one, they're looking for the results, right? They want to see what happened during the job. But number 3, I think, is probably the most important. And they want to see the outcomes. They want to see the impact that you had on that client's business. They also want to see your expertise. They want to make sure they're, verifying that you are an expert in the space that you're claiming. And I think that goes a long way to de-risk the project. All right, so the secret formula, how to build case studies. Case studies follow a very specific structure. And if you look at a lot of the big dogs, right, if you look at the massive agencies in this space, their case studies follow this formula. It breaks down to the title, the visuals, the summary, and the body. Titles. So titles are important. A lot of people will title their case study by the name of the client. The problem with that is that the name of the clients that you guys are working with are probably not as well known as Coca-Cola or, MGM, so the title really should hook the potential client with something that's intriguing. We want to ignite that curiosity. We also want to give enough information so that the user can decide if it's worth a click. So instead of saying, packaging for Beauty by Earth, which is one of my old clients, how we helped a beauty brand grow from the garage to 10+ million in sales. So that's a hooky title. You want to kind of it's almost like YouTube clickbait, except on the other side, there's actual value. You want to hook them into the case study. All right, so next up, the summary. We want to write this summary for busy people. I think that we spent maybe 30 seconds reviewing the portfolios of the people that applied for design positions at Blind. So you have 30 seconds or a minute or 5 minutes at the max to impress somebody with your case study. So we want to make sure that the people who are reading, especially those browsers, the people who browse through content, get the content that they need up front really, really quickly. So I recommend splitting the summary section into a couple different parts. So first is the mission or the challenge, what you were hired to do or what the client asked you to do. But it's a little deeper than just the client asked me to build a logo. You want to kind of put yourself in the client's shoes and say, the client wants to increase revenue, or they're trying to launch a new brand, or they're trying to improve a click-through rate. You want to make sure that the mission or the challenge is represented from the client's point of view. So then the outcome, this can be, I designed a website, I built a logo, I wrote an ad campaign. It's whatever you did that was the outcome of the job. And then number 3, this is the most important, the results or the impact that the job had on the client's business or effort. So if they wanted to launch a new product, did the product launch go well? What revenue did this new campaign generate? There has to be some way that you can measure what you did. Otherwise, your case study is just going to be judged on the aesthetics. Clients don't always have the best taste. And so if you're solely judged on the aesthetics of what you did for another client, that's bad news. So you want to make sure that you're communicating some level of results or impact. The body. So this is where designers struggle the most. The body should read like a story. There's nothing worse than reading a case study about kerning. Let's say that your project as a whole is like the Star Wars saga. In this scenario, what character is your client? The character is on the board right here. What character is your client? Let me know in the chat. Okay, Jamie says Luke, Chewie, Luke, Palpatine, Yoda, Darth. Who said Darth? Your clients are Darth Vader. Stormtroopers. Oh my God. If you've never seen Star Wars, come on. Like, your clients are the Death Star? Oh my God. No. Buzz Lightyear. Y'all need better clients. That's right. Death Star. That's funny. Many of you have gotten it right. Your clients, they're Luke Skywalker. When we're telling this story, the saga of the project as a whole, the story is not the client hires you and the objective is to finish the project the right way, and then you get to the end and it's wonderful. No, that's not the point. The whole point of the story is trying to help your client get to where they want to go. So in this saga, we're actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. We are the guide for the hero. We come in and help that hero achieve what they want. And, it's one of those things when we're telling this story, when you're watching the Star Wars movies, is the audience going to care if Luke masters like a certain force trick or does a lightsaber parry the right way, or if he gets the right model of lightsaber? No, they're going to care if he wins the quest. And that's what we should focus the story on. That's why that impact section is so important. So this comes directly from StoryBrand by Donald Miller. Your client is the hero. You are the guide. You are the guide. And that's the way that we should tell this story. Let's talk visuals. We're all designers. I'm preaching to the choir. Your visuals need to be badass. They have to be good. But one thing that we miss a lot, and I see that we miss, is that we don't create the visuals for the actual process. So the story of working with the client and helping them achieve their goal, helping them blow up the Death Star, wouldn't be a story if there wasn't a middle to it, right? And so many of these case studies go from challenge to outcome or challenge to impact. And we want to tell that story in the body. So make sure that you're capturing those visuals for process. So I have some ideas for you. For process, make sure that you're shooting people in action. You know, if you're doing a discovery meeting, even on Zoom, take some photos. You never know, you might use them later. Save all of your sketches or your wireframes, your notes, Post-its, whiteboards, reference materials. These are all golden. And then final visuals. You know, if you're doing logos, make sure that you show the logo in use, large scale, small scale. You know, animated UI graphics are huge for the UI designers and UX designers in the space. If you're an interior designer, make sure you do a video walkthrough, packaging in use. And then this goes without saying, but make sure that your designs, you display them isolated. You know, show them in use, but also share the logo just on a white background or a black background so that they can see the beauty of what you've done. I hope you guys got some value out of that. That was a short excerpt from a webinar called Show Your Work that I did a few weeks ago, and I had a blast. I reviewed a whole bunch of student case studies. We went over the foundational elements of what makes a good case study, you know, a case study that really works for you to onboard new clients or to get a job. Now, if you want to watch the full-length webinar, right now it's uploaded in full to the complete case study, which is for sale on our website. So go check that out. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have the full webinar available for free for all of you, but it's going to take some time. But I would also love to hear your questions about creating case studies and portfolios and using these things to get clients and find jobs. So meet me in the comment section below. I'm going to be hanging out there over the next couple of days, and I would love to chat. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, we love you, and we'll see you on the next one.